Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tarot by Pabby. I'm really excited to bring you this reading today. I'm going to be doing an in-depth look at your soulmate. Things are going to be slightly different than my usual readings, but I'll explain that as I go through them. As usual, I have some crystals for you to meditate on to pick your pile. As usual, I have 3 crystals for you to choose from. I have Peacock Ore, Rose Quartz, and Citrine. As I normally say, stable yourself, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and then open your eyes, and which crystal you're immediately drawn to is usually the pile for you. Once you've picked your crystal, check out the timestamp below and I will see you there. Hello lovely Peacock Ore group, I'm really excited to share your soulmate reading today. So what I'm going to do is I've split one of my favourite decks, the Seers Tarot, into the minor arcana, the major arcana and the court cards. And I use these to help identify who your soulmate is, or there could be several people, whereabouts in your soul's journey and your life path you both are. And then I look at the obstacles and the advice and where you could potentially draw those people into your life if you want to, or what you could be doing to manifest your soulmate into your life. A brief background to sort of soulmates. You might have heard the term soulmates, I'm sure we all have. And a soulmate is somebody who you are reincarnated with on the earth, and you can have several soulmates. There isn't just one soulmate for you. These don't have to be love interests. They don't have to be romantic partners as such. They can be, you can have soulmates who are your parents, who are your friends, who are your partners, your children. Anyone who's important in your life can be one of your soulmates. In this reading, I'm particularly looking at love soulmates. But there's also a term called twin flames. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard this. It's not as commonly known as soulmates, but twin flames are two people, two halves of a soul that are split and reincarnated on the earth. And twin flame journeys typically are quite difficult. If people meet their twin flame while they're reincarnated on earth, it can be quite a challenging scenario. I'm going to do another reading on twin flames specifically, but this is about romantic soulmates in this lifetime. Okay, so here we go. Your first card is who your soulmate is. Okay, so you have the Knight of Swords, and this card represents who they are at a spiritual level. This isn't who they are in this lifetime. And having the Knight of Swords as a soulmate gives me such a strong message of speed and quickness. And you can see this knight is rushing to get onto their motorbike to go and jet off somewhere. They've got a crossbow. They're sort of ready for action. I see this soulmate, their sole purpose is to rescue and to support and to rush to the need of anybody who needs their help. That's the overwhelming purpose of their soul's journey. I also get the feeling quite strongly that this means, for me, that this soulmate rushes in and reincarnates quite often. So they might have reincarnated quite often as and when they're needed to come and help. So it could be that they're quite an old soul who comes in to save the day in a kind of James Bond style. It feels very speedy, very clear. I suspect if you meet this person, it might not be overtly obvious that they're sort of a person who really supports and saves people, but once you dig a bit deeper, you might get that impression. You kind of just get this feeling that they are really there for people and they support and they come in and they have your back. I'm going to pull a second card, and this court card will be how they are reincarnated in this lifetime on earth at the moment. So the Knight of Swords is kind of their deeper soul's purpose, and the next card will be who they are more overtly on earth at this time. Okay, so for who they are on earth at this time, you've got the Page of Pentacles. So this is a very youthful energy, a vibrant energy, but it's quite grounded. So this person is quite fun, is sort of a kind of young at heart sort of spirit overtly, but they're a bit more sensible than somebody whose head's in the clouds, if you know what I mean. This person is really, they could come across as quite cool and edgy, and I'm obviously not cool because I've used the word cool, but you know what I mean. Like they could be quite, to use the 90s phrase, hip, but are quite stable in it at the same time. So this is somebody who is really cool and hip, but maybe doesn't know it or doesn't really care, and who's on this planet to sort of succeed, and it could be quite focused on material success, on the way they're perceived outwardly. Like they're very, very grounded in this world, but they have got that sort of childlike fun about them that comes with all the page cards. Combine that with their inner soul's purpose to save and rescue. I think exactly what my message was before, of you might not notice that this person is a rescuer or really, really deeply cares and supports and kind of saves people immediately, but actually underneath that sort of maybe quite aloof exterior, aloof, fun, trendy, hip vibe, they are actually somebody who is always there for their soulmate and probably for you. Now, you might not have come across this person yet, but you might have, and if this is resonating with you, keep watching this video, because hopefully we'll have some more messages for you. Okay, so I'm really interested in seeing what stage of your soul path you're both on. So this is where the major arcana cards come in. So the major arcana cards depict the Fool's journey, and they're all numbered, and it will become clear what I mean. But this is how many times you've reincarnated. This is whether you're newer or older soulmates. This is from a soul purpose perspective. So this might not be something obvious to you at the moment, but this is kind of what's going on in spirit and behind the scenes in your journeys on Earth. So you have strength. And strength is number 8, so it's relatively early in the Fool's journey, but not right at the beginning. And the strength card comes after the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of immense speed and progress. And it's very interesting that strength has come out in this reading with that Knight of Swords energy of your soulmate. So the message I'm getting is that this person has done a lot of saving, and you're both now in a period of trying to learn how to develop an inner strength. There is less speed in this lifetime, and you've both probably been through quite a lot together, especially in your most recent lifetime. You've probably been through quite a busy, frenetic, maybe quite challenging period, and now in sort of at the moment your souls are looking to learn. I think this lifetime is very much about learning how to function together and actually being a bit more stable and calm, which relates strongly to the Page of Pentacles, is how your soulmate has arrived at this time. It's a much more grounded, calmer time, just to develop yourselves and develop that inner strength. Strength isn't just necessarily about strength. It's about peacefulness. It's about calmness. It's kind of a calm not after the storm, because it's not following the Tower, but it's calm after a period of really, really busyness. So your soul is obviously, you might have gone through a period of really quite difficult reincarnations, or several at once, but now things are a little bit calmer in this lifetime for you both. The stage after the strength as well is the Hermit. So it's very interesting that actually this lifetime might be quite a significant one for you both, to develop your connection, because the Hermit is about introspection, taking yourself off on a journey alone. So maybe this is the last incarnation that you're going to be together, or it's going to be a while before you both incarnate on Earth together. But I'm going to shuffle the cards again and find out what whereabouts in your journey on Earth you are. So this will be, have you met them yet? It'll be when you might meet them. It'll show the circumstances of your relationship that will be on Earth and really obvious to you. Okay, so you have the Hierophant, and the really strong message is you will be meeting this person at school, through learning, through university. This could be, even if you're older, you may have met them previously. There's something about you've learnt them while you're at an institution. It doesn't necessarily have to be education. It could be something like religion. You could meet them at work. But this is a very, very strong signal that this person you have met through some sort of structured institution on Earth. It could also be that they acted as a sort of mentor to you, or they were more senior, or you were a mentor to them. But there's definitely definitely an education vibe coming through, and I think sort of high school, and if you're in the UK, secondary school vibe. There's this kind of really strong school vibe. So this might be somebody that you met at school that you kind of reconnect with in the future, or it could be somebody who you were dating at school, but you've definitely met them or will meet them in somewhere where you can be educated. Now, you don't have to be doing any educating. You could just, I don't know, be visiting a university or visiting a school or visiting somewhere where people learn. So it could just be a library and you meet them at a library or a talk or a seminar or something like that. But there's definitely something about learning and education on your life path. And also the Hierophant is number 5. So that's quite early in the Fool's journey. The Emperor precedes it. So I really do think that you either have met them already or you're going to, and you're going to realise you reconnect from something you've already been through together. There's definitely something about earliness. You've already met them coming through quite strongly. If this is resonating, don't try and control. So it's very easy for us to look back at who we really liked at school and go, oh my gosh, it must be that person. Actually, what's your intuition telling you? Because a soulmate connection is a connection of real deep ease and friendship, and it's just easy. So if you met somebody at school, or this person who you might be thinking of, the first thing that comes into your head may not actually be your soulmate. It's just somebody you like. Whereas a soulmate is somebody who it's very easy with. There's that kind of really weird feeling when you meet them of, we know each other before, like it's just easy. It just immediately clicks into place. But it also clicks into place when you meet them again. So if you have someone in your life that you can go and speak to, and it feels like no time has passed, even though it's been 6 months, a year, 2 or 3 years, this is who that person might be. Okay. Right, so I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into your into this lifetime and your relationship together, and I'm going to use the minor arcana for that, and just see if we can see what's going on between you two, and kind of understand what more about this connection you've got. Oh, I should also say I'm going to pull 3 cards that represent their journey and 3 for yours, so we can compare with what they're perceiving the situation as and what you are. Okay, so I've got 2 people here, and I'm not going to be prescriptive over which one is you and which one's them. You'll be able to tell because these are quite different people. So the first person has, I'm also not reading reversals in this reading, just to let you know. But this person has the 9 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. So this person is a little bit of a free spirit party animal in this life. They seem to have had a lot of success, probably quite early. They are kind of one of those people that glows in life. So I the 9 of Cups is always I always see as a very much a person who sort of is really outward with their success. And when I say success, I don't necessarily mean material. I mean like somebody who's very open about their emotions, is quite dynamic, is really joyful and can kind of free. There's a sense of freedom from this person, and that can really be depicted in the 4 of Wands, which is kind of a celebration. But actually, if we're thinking about soulmates and we're thinking about lifetimes, this really screams sort of partying, festivals, like that sort of youthful, emotional openness, partying. And you may have met them in this way, but they're a real free spirit, this person. But then the 2 of Wands is interesting because I think they the parting is probably in their past, or will be in their past if they're doing it at the moment, if you know somebody, if this is resonating with someone. But actually now they're reevaluating their choices. They're trying to decide whether the freedom, the free spiritness is for them. They're having a real sort of thoughtful, not a negative thoughtful process, but they may just be a little bit done with the partying. There's also a sense of they are reevaluating what life means to them. So they might be going through a period of sort of soul searching, of spiritual journey. Maybe the things that they thought they were successful at, or they were celebrating, maybe they're not that important to them anymore. So there's definitely a kind of transition from a real open free spirit emotional sort of kind of like emotional nirvana, really, from that Nine of Cups and that partying free spirit. And now they've kind of, or they will be reflecting a bit more and going through a little bit of a journey of the soul, but not a negative one, just one they're kind of choosing. They're just slowing down and reevaluating things. And this other person is very different. So there's a very sort of fiery emotional openness feeling of the Nine of Cups, and that could be a fire sign or a water sign. I think this is more of a fire sign person in that first person. I'm not going to be prescriptive about horoscopes, because I think that they sometimes don't work out well for soulmate readings, but if you are interested in that, go and look up some of the fire signs. But the second person is somebody who's very guarded, who probably has been through quite a lot. This Nine of Wands is very, very sort of doesn't want to let anyone in, has finally kind of built up walls, in love readings, this is a very guarded person, and probably quite rightly. They've probably been hurt quite a lot, they've been through some stuff, and they are quite guarded when it comes to the heart. And then the fact you've got two pentacles and that person's got two wands and cups, I find this is really interesting, because the dynamic of these people, so this person could be an earth sign, and they are quite guarded when it comes to material stuff. So I feel like there's one person who is a free spirit, who really likes to party, but is having a little bit of a spiritual journey. And then this other person has been through some stuff, has built up walls, and has been focused almost entirely on job, career, material things, material success, in a maybe slightly negative way, maybe quite fearful way, sort of doesn't want to let their heart open because they feel scared, and they're kind of focusing on this Pentacles energy, this material world stuff, as a kind of protection. The Ace of Pentacles is really interesting because they have just had some sort of new offer, new thing, new dream, I do think job offer, university offer, there's newness here from this person, and they feel, I think it could be quite challenging for them, because it probably makes them have to break open some of these walls to deal with this new thing. But it is a pentacle, so it is very, very real life. It's a real life opportunity. It could be love, but it's a very grounded love. But again, it is interesting that the Page of Pentacles is with the Ace of Pentacles in this reading. So they're both kind of about new material things, but the Ace of Pentacles is a fantastic card. Both of these people are on the right track, but they are quite different. So there's definitely different energies and different people here. Right, so I'm going to switch tarot decks now, and I'm going to look at some oracle cards, but also at the Spiritsong Tarot, which is an animal tarot deck, to see what messages they have for you. So I think this is really interesting to kind of tap into what signs and signals we might want. Yeah, it's interesting to look at the signs and signals that we communicate with the universe, to say, I want to see XYZ thing that indicates this is my soulmate. And if you haven't connected with your spirit guides yet, look up some YouTube videos on how to do that and how to ask for certain signs, because it's really powerful when you know your guides have got your back, to help you when this person comes along, to notice that it's them. Okay, so you've had 5 cards jump out, which I didn't quite expect, but let's see where we get. Oh, so the first one is the 3 of Crystals, which is the bumblebee or wasps. This is very sweet. This is a really positive message. So bumblebees are all about collaboration and feeling a sense of collectiveness and oneness. So it's all about being productive and collaborating with people. So this could be sort of at work, but also it could literally be bumblebees and crystals. Oh, you've also got the 2 of Shells, which is harmony, which is doves, I think. And so this is really positive. So you're probably going to find some sort of union and harmony and through collaborating with this person. It couldn't be more obvious that this is a soulmate reading. I mean, look at those 2 together. They're just the perfect fit, and this is what happens with soulmates. And it's kind of harmonious. It's what I was saying at the beginning about soulmates. It's just easy. It's a very easy relationship usually. I mean, when we reincarnate, we do have human brains, yeah. So it's not if your relationship is difficult sometimes, that's not a sign they're not your soulmate. Like, I mean, who's emptying the dishwasher, who's doing the laundry, who needs to like hoover or vacuum, those sorts of human things we all argue about, and we all get frustrated when you live with someone, and those sort of life tasks are really annoying. So this isn't sort of saying that if it's not harmonious in that sense, they're not your soulmate, but I just think at its core there's an ease to this relationship, and I think that's what they're telling you to look for. They're telling you to look for easiness and harmony, and it's just simple. You also have the Page of Crystals, which is the fox, and this is about ideas and discipline, which is really interesting because I see a lot of parallels between bees and foxes and this sort of discipline. So bumblebees are very disciplined, but they're collaborative, whereas this fox card, this Page of Crystals, is all about new ideas, but also having the discipline to carry it out. So this is saying that it's really important that you stick at it with this person if they're giving you the right signals, if this reading's resonating, if you have that ease, that actually you have to sometimes be disciplined for relationships to work. There is some sort of there is an element of compromise sometimes, but there is a sort of work to relationships, kind of what I was saying before, actually, that relationships are work, but they do, if you do put the work in, they are the most wonderful thing you can be in. So you also have the 10 of Feathers, which is recovery and transformation. So that's interesting with what I just said about discipline and relationships being work, that actually that part of your relationship could be quite transformative for you. There could be some sort of level of challenge, I guess, which results in this transformation, collaboration, harmony. There's also new ideas here, which is I find really fascinating in relationships. So this person could challenge your idea of what a relationship should be. It could be something quite dramatic about who you're attracted to. Maybe this person is a different gender, maybe they're a different religion, maybe they're just very different to what you're used to. But it may not be that large a difference. It just could be somebody who maybe doesn't look like the way you perceive them to be. But I find this a fascinating 4 set of cards. And the final one is transformation. Again, this is important, and this relates back to your soul path for both of you. I think that this is quite a transformative time. This is quite a transformative lifetime for you both. So it might not be easy, but once you get through that challenge, there is something really beautiful and transformative, to the point where your souls are going to take a bit of a break probably from reincarnating on Earth. So you do have some animals here as well. So you've got the bee, you've got the doves or birds, you've got foxes, But if you're somewhere else, it could be the equivalent of foxes, like dingoes. You've also got snakes, and you've got sort of cicadas, crickets. Those could also act as signs for you, which is why I really like this deck for predicting signs and messages about your relationship. Right, so the final step in this reading for you is I'm going to pull some crystal cards and some Starseed oracle cards. Now, Starseed oracle cards are about our soul and spirit as sort of beings reincarnated on Earth, and they work really well for these sorts of soulmate readings. But these messages are specifically for you. So a lot of what we've been talking about is about them and your relationship and how that's going to look and what messages they have, whereas these cards are specifically for you to guide you to this person or to guide you in this situation with how best it might work out. Okay, so your crystal cards. You have open up your heart, rose quartz. Yes, so this makes me wonder if you're the person. It could be either of those people, actually. You're either making the decision, you're going through a sort of journey of the soul, and you're that Two of Wands character, or you are the Pentacles character who's been kind of protecting themselves. But this is a sign either way that you really have to open up your heart in quite a deep way to receive your soulmate. Maybe there's something blocking it. Maybe you're being a bit guarded. Maybe you're going for the wrong people intentionally to protect yourself. Sometimes if we actually open up our hearts and go for the people we truly like, it can be more painful when we are rejected, and there's that fear, isn't there? But this is such a signal that you need to open up your heart. Oh my goodness. You've also got Rainbow Obsidian, which is heal your heart. Okay, this is a huge heart chakra thing, and whatever you've been through that's hurt you, you have to heal yourself, but also open back up again. Your first heartbreak is always the worst, usually. Your first sort of really true deep heartbreak is horrible, and you can heal that. But you can also heal things that aren't necessarily a relationship. If you haven't had a relationship before, then there is something that you need to heal from your past, which is kind of getting in the way of you opening up to love. It could be fears, it could be insecurities, it could be ideas of who your perfect person is, when actually deep down your heart always has the answers. And this is a really strong, it's such a strong message that you need to do some heart chakra work. So you need to do some meditating with either rose quartz or pink crystals or green crystals. Green aventurine is really strong, as is rose quartz. So do some maybe crystal healing of your heart chakra, and maybe actually do go and speak to a therapist about your heart issues, and this will really help your journey to your soulmate. Oh my gosh, wow. You have rhodonite, which is find a way to forgive. This is another heart chakra crystal, but this one is more grounded, I guess. So this is about real hurt. So there's something that's happened that you need to forgive, and it might actually be yourself. It could be someone else, it could be the person, it could be your soulmate you need to forgive, it could be, there's lots of ways that you need to forgive, but there's definitely, you have to heal your heart. This couldn't be stronger, that there is heart chakra stuff going on emotionally that you really need to work on. And then the final one is garnet, and garnet is a red stone. It looks quite black on this, but it is a red stone, and this is about igniting your passion. So this feels very much more like you need to find yourself again. You need to find your passionate side again once you've healed yourself. I think that there's a whole opening up, healing heart journey here for you. But I think the way to do that might be to focus on what you're passionate about. So focus on your passions in life that may not actually be related to love, and that will help you on this journey to opening up your heart. Okay, so I've got 2 Starseed oracle cards for you here. You've got the 7 Star Sisters, and you have Earth School. This is exactly what I was saying about learning. It's really creepy when this happens, but life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. This is a journey of learning for you both. You've got the Hierophant as your life path, in your soul. This is all about learning, and this is screaming to me that it's about learning in your heart. And those crystal cards are so strong, aren't they? Just, you couldn't get a clearer message that you have to do this work, and it's really scary, darling, and it's really hard. But actually, when you come out the other side, you will be more open to the world, I promise. Find people who can support you and hold you during this process, but I think you will come out the other side quite quickly, but also a kind of new person. Yes, Earth School is exactly what we're talking about today, right? We're talking about Earth being a place where we learn, and you're learning about strength as your soul's purpose, and this is about learning. And I think challenges and soulmate connections should be easy when we meet them, but the process of getting there might be quite difficult. So treat everything that's a challenge, or every bad relationship, or every sort of negative thing about love, as a way of learning and growing. You are really, this is a hugely transformational lifetime for you, and your soulmate is part of that. But embrace it. Look at the sort of angel, the spirit on this card. They're free falling. They're just completely letting themselves go with it. And I think this links quite strongly with your heart messages, that you have to open up your heart, and it's very important that you do so. And then the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. This is screaming to me, you need to get with some friends. I feel like you need a support network, and it might not be friends you already have, it might be a new group of people, but there is this sort of level of expression that you need to tap into that you're not yet. So as well as sort of all this difficult work you're doing on your heart and learning, there is also a real joy in this. So maybe you're going to go to group therapy, maybe you're going to find a forum online, maybe these tarot videos on YouTube are your people. Maybe you just need to find this group of people that will help you. Yeah, that will help you to create. And this is about expressing your truth. So there's a lot of opening up, and maybe it is expressing actually who you really want to be with. Maybe it's expressing what you want from a relationship. Maybe you need to be more open, and maybe you need to be more clear with yourself. Maybe this is what the heart work is. Maybe you really don't know what you truly want, you're ignoring it, and you need to do that work to figure out who this person is. And I keep thinking of, you need to write a list of literally who you want, down to like hair colour, eye colour, personality traits, like what their job is, what it's like when you've been in a relationship for 10 years, what would your marriage be like, what would your wedding be like. Just describe this person and get really, really clear on who you are, who you want, and what you will not compromise on. Because I think we often compromise and ignore red flags because we think someone is our soulmate, and we're wrong. And we get like 2 or 3 years down the line in a relationship and you go, no, this isn't working for me, and you've wasted time. So if you get as clear as possible on what behaviour you will or will not tolerate, you can then really freely open your heart to people, because you know you're not going to compromise on those values and those really important things to you. But these are very happy cards. They're very, very positive. And this is all about connecting. I feel like you have to make quite a lot of connections, and this is about birthing creation. So I do wonder if you might actually end up having children, or you've got children with your soulmate, if that's something that you want. Or you could have pets, or you could have a business together. There's something about your lives that's going to be intrinsically linked, in a really, really positive way. You're going to birth something together. Thank you so much, Peacock Ore Group. That's it for your reading today. I hope this hasn't been too long, and I hope it's helpful for you. If it has resonated and this really clicked for you, please comment. I love to hear what you have to say. But also, if you meet this person, come back and tell me. I'm really fascinated to see how much of this sticks, and whether things work out for you. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, week, month, year, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my lovely Rose Quartz group. Thank you so much for joining me for your detailed soulmate reading today. This is going to work slightly differently to my normal readings. I've taken one of my favourite tarot decks, the Light Seers Tarot, and I've split it into the Major Arcana, the Minor Arcana, and the Court cards. And I'm going to use this to hone in on a couple of questions. So we're going to look at who your soulmate is from their soul path perspective, and then who they're going to reincarnate as in this lifetime. We're also going to look at the stage of your soul path together. So this is a soul perspective. We're also going to look at the stage of your relationship in this lifetime. So there's definitely a split between what your soul's purpose is versus who they are and who you are in this lifetime. I'm also going to pull some cards to try and understand you two as a pair in this lifetime and your paths that you've been on. And then I'm going to look for messages they have for you. So signs and signals and the dynamic of your relationship in a bit more detail. And then finally, I'm going to pull some oracle cards and see what the messages are for you to do next on your path to finding your soulmate. So I should probably clarify a few things about soulmates. So soulmates is somebody who you have got a soul connection with and you're reincarnated on Earth together at the same time. Now you can have lots and lots of soulmates. These can be people that aren't necessarily romantic. So you can have friends or family or just teachers in your life. Lots of people can be your soulmates and who you've been reincarnated with a lot in various lifetimes. I am focusing specifically on romantic soulmates in this reading for you, but just beware that you can actually be soulmates with friends and family, and that's a really lovely thing if you find those connections as well. Now we know soulmates are quite a common term, but there's also another spiritual kind of romantic element to think about, and that is twin flames. So where you have lots of soulmates with lots of connections with people, twin flames are actually, there's only one for each person. So a soul is split into two, and two halves of that soul are reincarnated on Earth at the same time. Now, twin flame relationships, if you're not familiar, can be very difficult, very challenging if you meet your twin flame in this lifetime. They're not as easy, whereas soulmates feel more just a kind of ease and unconscious knowing that that person is kind of your soulmate, whereas twin flames is a very, very difficult union, and it's not something that most people do. I am going to do a twin flame reading in the future, but if you are interested in that concept, have a look on YouTube. There are some fantastic videos on it for you. Okay, so I'm going to go straight in with who is your soulmate and how their soul is, who they are at their soul core. Okay, so you've got the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, who didn't want to come out of the deck and fell on the floor. Your soulmate's fierce in their core. They are very stable. They are very there's a mother nature vibe, and this isn't gendered, so I guess I should say there's a vibe of being nurturing and compassionate to the earth, but also really grounded at the same time. This person is really, really together, their soul's purpose. They are an old soul through and through, and they are very caring and compassionate, but not, they're not overly bothered about the soul's journey. I feel like they've actually had so many reincarnations now, they're kind of a little bit exhausted by young souls and young people at spirit. Maybe being on Earth is a bit difficult for them. But there is a real fierceness about this Queen of Pentacles card, and there's a real fierceness about your soulmate, and it's important to know that this is their soul who are deep down. So you don't often see people's soul purpose in the core of their soul very often, but sometimes you do. But this will be something that isn't very overt, but when you get to know them, you'll see this coming through, that there's this real fierceness and kind of just maybe a bit of exhaustion with the world and humans. They're the type of person that says, like, oh, I just hate people sometimes. Like, they're just so together, they're so sorted, their stuff, they've just done it all already. They're probably in one of the last reincarnations of their life. We'll see what comes through from the life stages between you two. But yeah, this person is fierce but calm and nurturing but stable at their root, at their core. So I'm going to also pull a court card now for who they are on Earth, so how they are presenting, and this will be what you actually see of them when you interact with them. Okay, so you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is really interesting. The other group got the Page of Pentacles and they did not want to come out at all, but this is a very different energy to the previous reading. So this Page of Pentacles combined with the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is youthful but very grounded, and I'm showing my age here. We're saying things, they come across as sort of cool and, to use the 90s phrase, hip and trendy. They're just a very, very effortlessly cool person. Whereas in this reading, this person is very cool but nice. There's a cool but nice thing, and they're probably a bit stubborn and just a little bit can't be bothered with other people who just don't get it. There is this sense of they're quite young and youthful, maybe in their appearance and their mannerisms, but there is this sort of old soul vibe about them. If you've ever heard anybody talk about somebody who is just a really old soul, they're kind of like a little bit like a grumpy old man on their inside. This is who this person will be, and it will be quite contrasting. If you've ever heard of anybody who being called like an old soul, this is this person. They are lovely and kind and grounded, but very cool effortlessly, and they just seem so together. How can somebody with such a youthful, this is the question that you will have about them, is how can somebody with such a youthful vibe and youthful spirit be so together, be so grounded, be able to support and be compassionate to other people when they're just so young? There's a real sense of that with this person, and it's really nice actually. And they're just, I feel like this isn't somebody, the previous reading, the page was somebody who like tried to be cool. There's a kind of, it's a bit more curated, whereas this is somebody who's just like, I really like wearing clothes that I feel comfortable in, and they'll throw them on and they'll just look amazing effortlessly. There is that just effortlessness, slight stubbornness, kindness, but just so over it. They just seem so over it. Yeah, there's a really, I want to laugh because it's just this, it just immediately, it's like an Instagram, those sorts of Instagram influencers that just seem so together and just like, I'm just so over this now, and just all of that impression is just like, oh, I'm just effortlessly cool. But this person really is. So this person probably wouldn't even be bothered to be an Instagram influencer. They're just not interested in it. They're more interested in life. They are really wise beyond their years. I quite like them. There's a really lovely energy to this person, but I just find them quite funny. And maybe they're quite funny as well. They've got a real wit to them. Yeah, really, really like this person. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull some cards from the major arcana to look at the stage of your soul path. So this is where your souls are at, and then I'm going to look at the stage of your incarnation into this world. So this is going to be where you are both at now in this lifetime. Yeah, so unsurprisingly, your souls are the last card in the deck. You are the world. You're at 21, which doesn't surprise me at all with the energy of this person being so over it. They're and what I said about it being their last reincarnation, I very much suspect if you might be an old soul as well. But you two have been through a lot of incarnations together, but you're also at this, I love this world card. It's so joyful. You're probably both quite whimsical souls and spirits, and you're just here probably to support others. There's this real strange energy of actually you're both on this planet at the end of your soul's path. This may be the last time you both come back, and that can make life very, very exhausting if you are coming to serve others, which could be you as well. I have a really strong urge, I didn't do this with the other group, to pull a court card for you. So I'm going to do that now, because I'm really intrigued to see if you have a similar energy of being a really, really old soul. Okay, so you've got the Page of Cups, which makes me think that you are a total daydreamer, either in this world or your soul is, but you're such a daydreamer because you've been through it all before. Like, you daydream, and you're probably daydreaming and astral traveling. There is a real sense of you being somebody who is so spiritually connected that you're probably living in your head more than you're living in your body. That's really nice. But yes, this is a very, very compatible relationship in this lifetime. You're both pages. You're both slightly over it, but your soulmate in this lifetime is sort of manifesting it as, I'm over it in the material way, so sort of just being effortlessly cool and doing their own thing, whereas you're completely daydreaming about spirit and about the world, and you have such a breadth of emotional and spiritual knowledge that you're just exhausted, so you just spend all that time in your head and thinking, which is really sweet. But yes, you're both on a soul path which is coming to its end of its reincarnation. It's lovely. You're both very old souls. I'd love to learn a bit from you. But now I'm going to pull a card which is where you're at in this lifetime. So this is very specifically about this reincarnation, to see where you two as a pairing are at. Okay, so you two as a pairing in this lifetime have got Justice, which I think is very interesting given your it's sort of soul age. So it's in the middle. It's so you've probably met, but you're both, there feels like there's definitely some sort of cause that you both care about. Maybe it's a social justice movement. Maybe there is just something that links you together to try and seek justice. And I think in this lifetime, you're both at a stage of, I deserve and I want to do what's right in this lifetime. So to either side of Justice is number 11, but number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and number 12 is the Hanged Man. So the Wheel of Fortune could have spun either in your previous lifetime for or against you both. It could be that you didn't meet, it could be that you did and you had a wonderful relationship. But I feel like there is some real justice in this lifetime, and I get this really strong impression that your previous lifetime you didn't meet, or something blocked you and you'd planned to, and it was very frustrating. So you're actually seeking justice in this lifetime by being together, and you're kind of both a bit fed up of being old souls on Earth. So I feel like you're both going to work together to help the planet, to seek justice for maybe people who can't do it themselves. There's a really, really strong sense in this lifetime that you're both at this stage of frustration. And you're looking really to kind of go, right, we are going to, I was going to swear then, we're going to kick some bum and we're going to do what's right. There's a really, really, really sense of doing what's right here for both of you. And this is where you're at the moment. Also, interestingly, the card after Justice is the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is somebody who surrenders and seeks inspiration. So I feel like this Justice, your relationship might be quite difficult. There's something quite difficult about this partnership in this lifetime. So you're both slightly over being on Earth. Then it does make for a slightly challenging, tumultuous relationship. So if that's resonating, it could be this Justice influence of where you're both at the moment. But now I'm going to understand you both as a pair in this lifetime. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for you and 3 cards for them, and see how they interact and see what messages I get from that. Okay, so the first person has the 4 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. And the second person has the 6 of Wands, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Wands. Sorry. So this first person, I'm not going to prescribe which one's you and which one's them, because I think it'll be very clear once I start talking which one's you and which one's them. So the first person is exactly what I was describing about just being fed up, and there's kind of like a wishful thinking, fed up, but kind of being really negatively focused, not seeing opportunities that come into their life. Maybe life's been a bit hard, and you look at the 8 of Swords and there's a whole there is so many thoughts. You're really trapped by your thoughts. It makes me feel like you are completely, or this person is, I should say, completely disconnected from their spiritual self, or have been, and are really battling some sort of mental health issue with their thoughts. So it feels very anxious. It could be some sort of OCD. It could be depression, but there's a real sort of challenge trying to break free of these thoughts. Whereas if you look at this card, I find this card fascinating because the person is free, but looking in the mirror, they are constrained. So this is a real internal struggle that is blindfolding you, that's constraining you, that's stopping you being able to do anything, and it's causing this wishful thinking, negative mindset. But the Seven of Wands shows, and this is why I think this might be you, the Seven of Wands shows that this person is seeking real spiritual fulfillment. They've stopped, they are looking inwards and they're healing. And the fact that you're here watching tarot videos on YouTube, which we are so grateful for, shows that you are maybe on a spiritual journey to try and heal some of these thoughts, to try and heal some of this challenge and difficulty and constraints. And this person is reframing their mindset. If it helps, if you're an old soul, it's not surprising at all to be going through this and to be thinking, just wanting more for life, because there is more. Human is quite difficult for us if you're an old soul, because I know I am, and I know this feeling that you just get a bit fed up with the humanness of life, and you want to switch off sometimes. And if you've got that Page of Cups energy, you switch off by the sort of daydreaming, wishful thinking, but it could be that it's manifesting in quite a negative way. But you are seeking this sort of spiritual journey, this enlightenment, and this peace. And it's this solar plexus chakra is really, really screaming at me that it's about finding yourself and releasing these bonds. So this is what you're going through at the moment, that you either have been through quite a tough time mentally, and you've released it and you're now a very spiritual person, or this is a journey that you're not yet on yet, or you're just sort of transitioning. So this other person is somebody who has got a lot of validation throughout their life, and they've actually built quite a lot of wealth and material stuff. But actually, that's from the Six of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. But the Two of Wands is screaming they're not fulfilled by this. They are, which kind of makes sense, right? If they're an old soul like you, if you're both at the end of your soul path journey, you kind of know how to do Earth if you can channel it in the right way. So this person could actually even be famous. They just get a lot of praise and joy and validation externally. It could be an influencer. It could be somebody who just really succeeds and gets a lot of validation in their job. It may not even be that they're particularly good at it. They could just be a performer, maybe. So somebody who's like a singer or a musician or artist, or somebody who performs daily and gets applause. Could be this person, or they're just very successful at their job and they get a lot of it, but they've worked very hard to get there. So they've planted these seeds, and it's very earthly, it's very grounded. They've really worked hard on this, but now they're reflecting and they're going, I don't know if I want this anymore. Like, what was it all for? Like, they're going through the same sort of journey that you have been through. So in their life, they're starting to question these things, maybe a little bit later than you, this person. It could be you, or you could be the famous person. But I think the way you two are going to link is through spiritual practices or reflection, or just this sort of transition that you're both going through about being a bit fed up with life and what does it all mean. Money isn't everything, fame isn't everything. Like, there is this sort of sense of you're both going to meet either through your spiritual journey or your education or your soul path on this lifetime, and what's things you do like that, or you're going to meet because of it. Yes, it's a bit, this energy is quite challenging for both of you, and all I can do is empathise, because I get it. It's life is rough if you're on this earth and you just wistfully want to be somewhere else, and you start challenging everything you've been told that you should be looking for. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is get my Spiritsong Tarot and look for messages from you. Now, this is a tarot deck that has animals on it, and I like to use it because it can give you animals to look for. But also the animal messages come out quite differently in this tarot deck. So I'm specifically looking at messages and signs and signals that can link with kind of how you two will be together. So you have the Five of Crystals as the ladybug, or the ladybird if you're British, which is persistence and new possibilities. Exactly this sort of spiritual journey that you're both going on. I feel like you may not have met yet. It in the previous reading it felt it was the opposite, but I think that you two haven't met yet in this lifetime, and then you have to persist to find each other. This is a signal of you are going to meet them. You are going to meet this person, your soulmate, who's going to set you on fire, who gets you, who is an old soul as well. You're going to have that. If you haven't already, then you might have just met someone, or there might be someone who you're thinking, oh, that sounds like this person. But this person, it's just easy to be with them, but they are coming for you. That you have to persist. You have to do this inner work, and you have to decide what you want first. Sorry to be that messenger, because that's not what we want to hear, right? We want to hear Prince Charming's coming tomorrow. They're perfect. I say he because that's my sexuality, but we want to hear that they're perfect, and then it all be fine, and then we drift off into the sunset under a rainbow. But this is not this message. This message is you've just got to persist a little bit on your own stuff at first. Let's have a look at what else you've got. You've got the Ten of Feathers again. This has come up again. So the Ten of Feathers is recovery and transformation, and this is coming through again. But for you, this is you're exhausted, and this transformation that's coming is the end of a soul's journey. So it's enlightenment. You are really gonna get enlightened from this lifetime. But also there's a sense of recovery. So in your spiritual journeys that you're both on, there is a lot of rest, there's a lot of recovery as a couple as well. Like, I think it's healing for both of you to be together, and there will be a sense of when you meet them, you're going to go, oh, thank goodness. There's that sort of sense of I can rest, we can recover together now. You've got the King of Feathers, which is justice again, which is exactly what you two are going through in this lifetime. And this is about logic and justice, and I feel like both of you are doing incredible things in this lifetime, or going to, or doing something which is really about social justice. You're really doing something, or going to do something profound on Earth, which is why you're at the end of your journey. And you're going to do this together, or you're both going to be very compatible together doing this. Yes, logic and justice. You've got justice again, but also there is a huge enlightenment signal from the Ten of Feathers and the King of Feathers. They've both got halos around their heads. So there's a huge enlightenment transformation message. And you two as a couple, when you do meet, there's going to be this sense of recovery and justice, and you're going to. It is justice for others. It's not justice for you two. You really are fantastic people at your core. You are helpful. And it doesn't have to be, when I say sort of impact on the world, it doesn't necessarily have to be like you start a movement that causes protests, which is immediately in my head. This can be something as small as you get justice for one person. You stand up and support somebody when they're being oppressed. Just one person. It could be about something really little, but that is your purpose, to sort of stand up for the little man. And I think this is what if you look at the animals on this card, you've got the ladybird, which is tiny and delicate and actually can be squished quite easily, but you two are the lion and the snake together. You are so compatible in that you have fangs, you can attack, you can support the little ladybird. But the ladybird is saying that to do this, you have to persist and do this inner work that you're both going through. I should also say it's really important that these might be your physical signs. So ladybugs, ladybirds, snakes and lions could be your sign that somebody is your soulmate. So look out for those. And if anything else in this card resonates, or anything I've said resonates as a sign, take that and run with it, because your intuition is always right. Okay. So the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some crystal cards for you, and then some Starseed Oracle cards. Now, the Starseed Oracle cards are about our soul as a spirit that is truly supposed to be across the universe. So it's very relevant for a sort of soulmate reading, and these are messages specifically for you. So everything I've said previously has been about you two together, but this is about what you need to do next, to either meet your soulmate, to cement that relationship, to kind of just progress on this journey towards this person. And hopefully these cards will come out easily, but throughout your reading it's been almost impossible. I can tell your old souls, you just do not want to be bothered by a reading. But bear with me, I'll see how many we get. And that just came out immediately, which is someone going, ha, there you go, have that one. Oh, and there's that one. This is just a big joke. So your first card is Azurite, which is get laser focused. Yes, this is about your justice, your life path, whatever it is that you have that lights a fire inside of you that is coming from this sort of spiritual journey you're going through. You need to get laser focused on that. Or it could be whatever your social justice or the justice, whatever you think you need to seek justice for, you need to really get laser focused. This is just a big kick up the bum to say, yeah, do it now. I don't have much else to say. And this has come out again, unsurprisingly, in a soulmate reading, but you've got rose quartz, open up your heart. Yeah, so there is a sense when you are old souls of being bored, of being just kind of life is just passing you by and it can be very difficult. Whereas actually it's quite hard to embrace our humanness and get out of our own heads. So actually I think there is some sort of get laser focused, but also open yourself up to the opportunity that you might be meeting your love. Open your heart up to love and the possibility that it is going to happen for you or is happening for you. I said it to the other group who got this card, but this is a sign of doing some heart chakra work, less strongly than they had it, but it's always helpful to do some meditating and crystal healing if that's something that interests you. You also have Tiger's Eye, which is overcome your fears. Yes, hugely. There's a lot of, when we go through a kind of spiritual soul transformation, which I think you both are going through at the moment, we get completely constrained by our fears. So this opening up your heart, getting laser focused, is about dealing with the things that scare us. Like you are the lion and the snake, right? You guys can handle this. You've been through it before, but you really need to do the work to kind of tackle it and not let it hold you back. So it's getting laser focused on the thing you want to do and then opening your heart and overcoming your fears to help you heal, to help you get laser focused and on the thing. I don't know what it is. Whatever this justice thing is coming out for you as, it's that. Okay, you have, apologies for the pronunciation, Lemurian quartz, which is practice patience. That's very interesting because when there is a sense of movement and frustration with you two, but actually, as I said with the ladybird, you have got to persist. This is not this soulmate. You're not going to come into each other's lives straight away. You have to do the inner work first. You have to persist. You have to dedicate yourself. You have to just be patient, but do this other work and carry on your spiritual path first. And you've also got rhodochrosite, which is remember your worth, which is really lovely. So maybe the justice is about you guys. Maybe there is something, you've been wronged and you have to seek justice for it. And justice doesn't have to necessarily mean like revenge. That's not what I'm talking about. But justice is, say an example in a love reading is if somebody's cheated on you in the past, then you take that internally on and believe that they cheated on you because there's something wrong with you, which is complete BS. It's complete rubbish. But in these sorts of situations, that person who's cheated can throw their guilt at you. They can throw words that are blaming you for the reason that they cheated, and that's rubbish. So this is about doing some inner work on your heart. But it's about remembering your worth and opening up after some hurt and some fears. The patience is really screaming at me that you need to. I wonder if you're watching this reading because you're feeling a bit desperate for love. And I'm really sorry to tell you, again, like the ladybird, that like you're not quite there yet. Like you need to do this inner work, but you need to remember your worth. You need to get focused on who you are, like overcome your fears, become your true self, and then love will be easy for you and your heart will open and it will all just breeze by. But be patient. If we try and sort of attract things into our lives when we're not ready for them, it doesn't usually end well and it can feel a bit frenetic. So just do some inner work, and try to get laser focused on what it is your thing is. I feel like there's a thing in your life, and I can't even pick out what it might be. I feel like this is going to resonate with a few people. I can't pick out what it is, but you need to get laser focused. Agate has just caught my eye on these cards. It was at the bottom of your deck, and it says get back into balance. So I think that's the answer that I was looking for, is that you're completely out of balance. Maybe you're spending too much time thinking about love, or you're not thinking about it enough, or you're spending too much time at work and doing earthly things, or you're the reverse. Like, you need a bit of a reset, is what this is screaming at me for. As I will always say, therapists are amazing. So if you have the money and the time, go to a therapist. But also Facebook groups for people who are struggling with things, if there's an issue that you need to fix, they can be incredibly supportive and helpful as well, and help you transition. I'm a big advocate of books as well, workbooks that can guide you through some steps to do this. Okay, so finally, I'm going to get your Starseed Oracle card. I've just said that, and then I've got these two cards. Okay, so you've got big picture thinking, which is, I can never pronounce this, Pleiades energy, which is a star constellation, visionary, inspired ideas. And then you've got portal, which is amazing. So doors are opening for you. You decide on rewards. So you are really on the precipice of greatness. It's what I was saying about you are going to do something great in this lifetime. This has turned out to be a bit more of a life path than soulmate reading, but I feel like you are so close to meeting this person, so close. Like, you are a visionary, you are somebody incredible, and you have such incredible power within you, that if you step into that power, if you step into your ideas, and step through the doors that are opening in front of you that you might not even have noticed, your soulmate is going to come in really easily. And I feel like you're both frustrated that you haven't met yet, or the connection isn't quite there yet. This is really, really positive. You are so there, darling. You're honestly, you are really nearly there. Like, this person is gonna come in for you, but also you're really gonna do some amazing things together. Congratulations. And sorry if some of these messages weren't what you wanted to hear. I got a very strong frustrated energy from one or two of you, but keep at it. You've got this. Remember, you're the snake and the lion. You guys are strong. You're fierce. You've done it before. You've got this. It's pretty simple for you. You know how to do this. Thank you so much for this reading today. I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you're okay, and I am really looking forward to hearing from you about this. So please comment if this has resonated with you, and also like and subscribe as well. That helps me out, but it also keeps you in the loop with when I'm posting a new video. Have a wonderful day, week, month, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Hello, my lovely Citrine group. These readings have ended up being really long, just to warn you. So you might want to save this video in watch later and watch it in batches. But I'm really, really pleased that you're here to hear about your soulmate today. I'm so excited to do this reading for you. Now, things are going to work slightly differently than my previous readings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've split my tarot, one of my favourite tarot decks, the Seers Tarot, into 3 piles. So I've separated the court cards, the major arcana and the minor arcana, and I'm going to use those to figure out who your soulmate is, the stage of your path and your relationship together, and then you two together, how you interact, and some messages for you. Then I'm going to move on to look at messages that they might have for you, signs and signals, and how you two are as a pairing in more detail. And then I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you to give you, only you, some advice on what you should be doing next. So for those of you who aren't aware, soulmates, you can have lots of them. So soulmates are people who reincarnate together at the same time, but also have been reincarnated in previous lifetimes together. And they don't necessarily have to be romantic. They can be friends, family, children, people in your life who are notable, but soulmate relationships tend to be easy, and there's this sense of knowing each other forever. It's a really lovely friendship and relationship. But in this reading, I'm going to be focusing on romantic soulmates for you. But also there's another concept that I should talk about, which is twin flames. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of twin flames. It's not used as commonly as the term soulmates, but unlike soulmates that you have lots of them, twin flames, there is only one of them. Twin flames is a soul has been split in half and reincarnated into two people on Earth at the same time. And twin flame relationships are very challenging usually. They don't happen very often because they're just so difficult. And if you're interested in twin flame readings, I will be doing one in the future, but I'd also recommend looking up some videos on YouTube about twin flames versus soulmates if you are interested. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a court card for who this person is at a soul level. So this isn't necessarily who they're reincarnating as on Earth at this time, but this is who they are in their soul. Okay, so you have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is the absolute archetype of the knight in shining armour. Emotionally supportive, comes in, scoops you up, romantic, but this is at a soul level. So this person is just the epitome of loveliness, of kindness, of movement, of gifts. The first reading got the Knight of Swords, which is a very different energy. That's the sort of person who rescues and saves, so like James Bond, whereas this is somebody who comes in to support. This is a very supportive soul. It's somebody who's at their soul level are very, very connected to other people. They're really, really in tune with what other people want. They may have been reincarnated a few times to sort of hone this skill. It feels like a skill that they've got, that they're able to sort of emotionally soothe people and help them. But it is it is still quite a relatively youthful energy to it. I'm going to pull another card to see how they are reincarnating as a human in this lifetime. So this is their sort of deeper inner energy. So you won't see this soul, this Knight of Cups, when you first meet them. This will be something that if you get to know them, it'll become really clear deeply how they are being. Like this is at their core of their being, is what I'm trying to say. And you only see that if you get really close to them. Ooh, okay. So in this lifetime, this person is the Knight of Wands. So this person is fiery, is passionate, is loud, is fun, is a party animal, is not really childlike, but youthful. There's a very sort of like young, cool, like adult vibe, sort of early 20s vibe to this person. They just want to have a good time. And this is how they're manifesting. So this is in a sort of with how they are at their soul level. So this person on the surface will be party animal, fun, passionate, like goes after what they want, is kind of fearless. Whereas actually when you get to know them, they're actually real romantic, like deep down. Yes, this is a really lovely person to be around, actually. They're a lot of fun. And you've got two knights, so it makes me think that they haven't been reincarnated that much. They're still a relatively new soul. So they're not somebody who's sort of wise beyond their years, this person. This person is sort of fun, but with a romantic side. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some major arcana cards to look at where you both are on your soul's journey. So this is how many times you've been reincarnated, where you both at on your journeys together. This isn't where you're at in this lifetime at the moment. Okay. So your souls are at the Magician. You've got number 1, which means your souls haven't been reincarnated together much, if at all. So you're at the beginning of your journey. You're at the beginning of your path together, your soul's path. You're both quite new, or one of you's quite new. There hasn't been very much interaction. I think this is the second card. The Fool is number is 0. So you could have had maybe 1 or 2 reincarnations together, but not very many. This is all very new for you both, which is really exciting. There's a really exciting feeling to this. And I can feel that this is quite a new connection because I don't have that many messages. It's very clear. It's very clipped. It's clear. It's exactly clear who they are. It's clear who you are. It's clear who the life path is. This is going to be maybe quite a short reading because you're both quite new, and it's lovely. It's really nice. The others were quite sort of deep readings, whereas this is, you're both new. It's very exciting. It's romantic. It's passionate. Yeah, love it. So the next card I'm going to read for you and is where you're at in your path in this lifetime. So this will be specifically sort of, have you met yet, where you're both at together. Okay, so you guys are at the moon, which makes me think you've already met. Maybe you've already even been a couple, because the moon is number 18, so we're near the end of the life of the sort of journey path together. But this is the sort of introspective thinking, healing, nighttime darkness thing. So this may be, if you've already met, this might be quite a difficult time for you both. You might have broken up, you might be together but sort of are having doubts. There's a real sense of thoughtfulness, of reflection, of having a bit of a sort of maybe independence from each other at the moment. If you're not with anyone at the moment who you think could be your soulmate, that's sort of the character I described, then this is about you two together are going through this kind of journey of soul searching. They always say with romantic relationships, don't they, when you're not looking, you'll find them. And you're not, I don't think either of you are looking at the moment, or you're on the path to not be looking. You're both doing your own inner work and you're kind of maybe giving up about finding someone. But actually, what comes after the moon is the sun. So the sun is probably my favourite card in the whole deck. It is the reward, it's the soul connection, and you are very close to meeting each other. I think the overwhelming message I'm getting from this is there is a sort of sense of maybe desperation, of despair, of just maybe, but finding peace in being alone is the key to unlocking each other and the key to finding each other. It's very sweet. It's like you've probably both kissed a lot of frogs. You've probably both just a bit fed up with life and the journey you're on to finding romance and love, but it's coming really, really, really soon. You haven't got there yet. You haven't met each other yet, but you are so close. I'm so excited for you. This whole energy I'm getting of like newness and just, oh, you are so close. You're going to meet this person, if you haven't already, very, 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 very soon, and it's going to be spectacular. Yeah, let's find out a bit more about you both, so you can spot each other and kind of I can understand a bit more about your journeys. Again, though, might be quite a short reading because it's very, very clear and clipped and yeah, there aren't that many messages apart from the ones I'm delivering for you. Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 cards for you and 3 cards for them. I'm not going to prescribe which one's which. I'm sure it'll become clear to you once I have done them, which is which. Okay, this is exactly what I was saying with the moon. Okay, so person 1 has the Ace of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. And person 2 has the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, and the 3 of Swords. So immediately, the 5 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords are about heartbreak, they're about the moon, they're about this kind of desperation, this fed up, this heartbreak, this feeling of sadness that you're both going through at the moment. But I'm here to tell you that things are going to move very quickly and you're going to meet each other quickly, and you're so nearly there. So person 1 has got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups, and this is newness twice. This is newness in terms of thought and jobs and idea. It is a sense of inspiration as well. You're going to have this person's going to have new and brand new idea come to them, or a brand new job, or it could be academic, it could be education, a new education, a learning opportunity, but they're going to have something come to them quite profoundly. But also the Ace of Cups, right? So the person 1, I feel like, is the newness for person 2. So person 1 is Ace of Cups is new love, immediately new love coming in. But the fact it's sandwiched between this 5 of Pentacles, this sort of desperation, this fed upness, this feeling lost and feeling in poverty when it comes to love, is sandwiched between two newness. So this is really new change. And I feel like the person 1 is going to come in for person 2. So there's going to be a level of somebody's going to come in and pull the second person out of their funk, if you like. The second person has the 9 of Cups, which is like emotional freedom and openness. So I feel like this person was kind of pure of spirit, but emotionally together and open and yay. And then they got really badly hurt. Somebody has been through a really difficult heartbreak and has had to walk away from that energy of being emotionally free and open. Just that's it for that. This is person 1 is going to come in and rescue person 2. It's very sweet. It feels quite sort of naive. It feels like a youthful energy. It feels like when you're broken and in the pits of despair together, like this person 1 is kind of gets it. They get what person 2 has gone through, and they can come in and be like, let me show you how to heal. And this is so nice because I just have this feeling of you two together, literally like skipping through meadows. Like there's just such a lovely sense of rescuing. It's that Knight of Cups energy, which is why maybe person 1 is the your soulmate and maybe person 2 is you, but I'm not sure. It may be the other way around, but there is this energy of newness, new love, of healing, of people healing together in a kind of new relationship from a soul level as well as from a sort of human level. It's just wonderful. I know it looks quite bleak, especially that 3 of Swords is quite bleak, but it looks lovely. And you guys, you're just meant for each other. And I feel like when people see you as a couple, they're just going to go, oh, I want that. You're the couple that everybody really hates being around because they want what you have. Yeah, it's coming. You're so close. You are so close to that sun, and you're so close to meeting each other. Oh, bless you both. This is lovely. But also, I'm really sorry. Like you've been through some stuff. Whichever person you are in this reading, I'm really sorry because you've been through some heartbreak, some real difficulty that might have squished your soul a little bit. And big hugs, because that's rough. But this person is coming, I promise. It's so exciting. I can't wait for you guys to tell me all about it. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards from the Spiritsong Tarot. And the Spiritsong Tarot is an animal tarot deck. And I love this deck because it always has some different messages from a traditional tarot deck, but it also has animals, which can be actual signals and signs. So I'm going to see what messages I have for you from them, and a little bit more about the dynamic between you both. Wow, so you've actually got 6 come out. But let's see what they say. So the first one I've got is the 9 of Crystals, which is security and abundance. Yes, like you both. I feel like this is going to be I've almost read this too early. This is what you're both going to have together. You're going to have this real beautiful sense of security and abundance with each other. There is this joy. It's almost like I didn't pull enough cards before to show you what the result is. So I'm having this. The spider is very separate. This is the result of you two being together, and it's so close. And this is just like, please take this to heart, that you are going to have this joy of security and abundance. Apologies if you're a bit scared of spiders. I really like spiders, but also spiders, I think if you see spiders when you're thinking about someone, when you're talking to someone, that is a really strong message. This card is very separate, feels quite a separate message from the universe to tell you spiders, and you're going to seek security and abundance, and you're going to have that with someone else. They're also money spiders, which are supposed to note abundance as well. So I think that's probably why they are on this card. Okay, so I'm also going to have a look at the other cards I pulled. So you've got transformation, transition and liberation. You've got the High Priestess, intuition and sacred knowledge. Yeah. You've got the King of Crystals, which is courage and commitment. Yes. You've got the Shadow, which is self-empowered ambition. Yeah. And you've got the Two of Shells. So 2 of these cards came up in a previous reading. I think it was the first one. But transformation, yes. You're both healing from something quite major in your life, and you're going to transform together. It's just so sweet, this reading. Oh gosh. And the way you're both going to do that is through your intuition and your sacred knowledge. So this is very much, I feel like, because you're both quite new souls, it's going to be very obvious that you're soulmates to each other. You're just going to know immediately. It's going to be such a novel feeling for you both that there is this intuition and like sacred knowledge, and you're going to transform together quite quickly. You're going to heal each other. And then the King of Crystals, courage and commitment. You're going to get married immediately. Commitment, yep. You're going to, if you not necessarily believe in, if you don't believe in marriage, that's fine, but you're just going to be together for a long time. And then the Shadow, which is the self-empowerment and ambition. This is, oh, it's just so lovely, this reading. You're both going to meet and you're going to heal each other, but then you're going to lift each other up to become independent, empowered, ambitious individuals. So it's almost like you're both going to have wonderful abundance and success because of being together. So maybe you have started a business together, or you link people up with the right people. And it's just something, it's just so, this is beautiful. There's such a beautiful union coming for you two. And then the Two of Shells is that last card. I mean, union, harmony, you can't get more beautiful from a soul connection. And you're both quite young souls, so this is going to be life transforming, and it's just lovely. Oh yeah, there's lots of love songs coming in my head. You're going to have that sort of relationship of just beauty. I'm not sure if anybody watched the Eurovision Song Contest in 2021, but the Iceland entry is called 10 Years. Look it up, because the lyrics in that are basically saying, we've been together for 10 years now and I can't imagine life without you. I do it all exactly the same way. And it's that energy, it's that real beauty of love that you two are going to have. I think the message, again, though, there's the High Priestess and the Shadow here, and those are saying that you're probably in a little bit of a moon energy. It's a bit dark right now, but this is saying that you really are on the verge of coming out of that, and you might pull each other out together. But yeah, you're going to flourish. This is a shorter reading, but it's beautiful. I really can't wait to see, or for you guys to comment on what happens, because I feel like this is going to be quite a quick one. Yes, love it. Okay, so this is their messages for you. So these are also the animals that you should look out for as messages. So you've got the tiger. I think you've got the mountain cat. But look up different types of mountain cat. You've got cicadas or crickets or insects like that. You've also got snowy foxes. So this could be foxes, dingoes, anything like that. And then you've got birds. Those are specifically doves, I think. But have a look for those messages as well. So if you communicate with your spirit guides and you say, please show me a sign if somebody is my soulmate, you could use one of these, or just pay attention if any of these are coming up for you regards to a person. Lovely. Right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some crystal cards for you, crystal oracle cards, and then some Starseed oracle cards. So these Starseed oracle cards are about our soul and spiritual journey across the universe and reincarnating on Earth. So they're perfect for this reading. But these messages are specifically for you. So everything else has been about you two together. Whereas these are about you right now, what you should do. So this is the advice to get to this lovely, beautiful soulmate connection that you have here. I'm very excited for you. Okay, you've got blue lace agate, which is find your calm. Yep, you are in the pool of the moon right now. If you remember that card, it was very, the figure was sort of surrendering to the water. This is you right now. Recall your dreams as well. Lepidolite, and you've got apophyllite. Apologies for the pronunciation, which is stay positive. This is exactly the energy. So you need to find, meditation is screaming. I'm getting that message so strongly that you need to find a way of reaching peace. And you need to meditate, but you also need to do things that make you happy. So this whole stay positive, find your calm is almost, I have this vision of like singing in the car or dancing around the house. You've got to find some joy, and actually that it has been scientifically proven that you can't dance or sing without getting some sort of joyful boost. Dancing in particular, just dance around to some really happy music, put on happy songs, and that will elevate your mood but also help calm you. And And then recall your dreams. I've put this in the middle and I think it's quite significant. So I feel like this is the main message, is recalling your dreams. I feel like you've been sent some messages in your dreams. There are definitely, these are very angelic crystals. So I feel like you're getting messages and maybe you're not listening to them because you're not calm or positive enough. But yes, call your dreams, my lovelies. Like, start a dream journal. But there's also recall. I always say this, it's not always about explicit dreams, lepidolite. This is about what you dreamt your love life would look like in the past. So try and connect with that. Connect with that before all of the stuff happened, before life got in the way. Who did you want to be with deep down? And try and stay positive that you're going to find them, because they are on their way. They are on their way. Just lovely. Okay, I'm going to get your Starseed Oracle cards now. See how many want to come out. Right, so you have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, the extremes of life. This is the moon card again. This is, you have to submit, you have to surrender to calmness, to your dreams, to your angels. You're resisting it right now, and I know it's scary, but you have to surrender to peace. You have to relax. You have to let life take you by. If you're feeling, I'm getting this message of depression. If you're feeling a bit depressed, you have to just surrender to life happening around you. You have to stop trying to control things. You have to stop not controlling things. You just have to just be for a little bit. You're being supported. And this is overwhelmingly strong. So you've got star ancestors and then star keeper. So you've got these, there is a huge message here that you're being looked after. So if you do find yourself struggling, you have to surrender to your guides. You have to surrender to your stars and your ancestors, and you are a new soul, or this is a new soul connection. And I really like hidden secrets, lost wisdom, look a little deeper, because this is the moon card as well. You need to go a little bit deeper inside yourself. You need to meditate. You need to find joy, but you need to do some spiritual work. And you're already in the right place because you're looking at tarot videos on YouTube, right? This is exactly the work you should be doing. Do more of this. Maybe buy a tarot deck for yourself. Maybe buy some crystals for yourself. I really like runes. If you haven't heard of runes, look up palmistry, look up meditation, lots of different types of meditation. So you've got like mindfulness, but you've also got transcendental meditation. There's lots of different things you need to explore to connect with the spiritual side. And then Star Keeper. Cosmic ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So this is you after you've done this work. This is you. They're saying that you're going to be enlightened when you've done this sort of healing work for yourself. But there's also hidden secrets. I'm really drawn to this hidden secrets part of the Star Ancestor card, and I think there might be something that you're hiding from yourself. And I'm really excited. This is the excitement about this. Like, you're being looked after. You need to stay grounded, but you also, and that's where the sort of positivity comes in. But you're kind of, there's not actually that much for you to do. I feel like your soulmate is coming in, and you just need to be positive. And I think the main message from this reading I have for you, Citrine group, is that he, she, they are coming. Be patient. You've got this. They're coming. Like, calm, positive. Just try and experience some joy. Look at what your dreams are saying, because you're getting messages, and you're getting messages a lot, and maybe you're not listening to them. There's a lot of angels here. So definitely look at doing some angel work as well. I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy to have shared this reading with you today. Thank you so much. I don't have any more messages for you. That's it for me today. I want to send you all big hugs and lots of love. If you've enjoyed this, please comment. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'd love to hear if it resonates, and come back to it in the future. If 6 months down the line you say, Pabby, this happened, oh my god, that would make my day. But I'm beyond grateful that you've shared this time with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, week and month. Take care of yourselves. Bye.